Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of pop culture, sports, social media. We did this last year and I'm really thrilled to have it back. We did a special panel partnered with USA Hockey's National Team Development Program, and I'm really excited. We're going to have two this year. We're going to have one with the under 17s and the under 18s, and really excited. So I'm going to have them in order to introduce themselves, and we will get going.
I'm Cole Caufield, and I'm from Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Alex Turcotte, I'm from Island Lake, Illinois.
I'm Jack Hughes from Orlando, Florida.
Very cool, very cool. So a little bit of an icebreaker, and we'll start with Cole. When did you kind of decide that you wanted to potentially like make a living playing hockey? Was there kind of a moment, or was there a specific level of hockey you played where you were like, yeah, this is what I want to do?
I think just growing up playing hockey, just like loving the game as a kid, just having that dream since you were little, and now it's starting to, get where you want to be. So, yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Well, I come from a pretty good hockey family. My dad played pro, so like he shared his experiences with me, and he got me into it when I was like 2 or 3, and I've loved it since. And just the things he's told me has really made it even better. So,
absolutely. And Jack, what about you?
For me, it was never like really trying to make a living out of it. I guess it was just fun for me. Whenever I got the chance to play, I mean, it was just fun. It was never about like growing up and wanting to make a living out of it. But
well, I meant more like playing it all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, I mean, like me and my brothers, we grew up playing it, and I mean, we just have such a love for it. So,
let's talk a little bit about this year specifically. The USA Hockey National Team Development Program. You guys get to play. You get to kind of play as a team all year. A lot of bonds, a lot of relationships are built throughout the year. You guys get to play in some big games. How's the year going, and what are kind of some of the goals? We'll start with Jack.
Of course, our international tournaments are the biggest things we do. We're 2 for 2 right now, so hopefully we can keep it going. But really, it's... Pardon me?
Oh, continue, sorry.
Oh, no, that's really it.
Okay. And Alex, what about you? Any the international tournaments, like Jack said, but anything specifically for Alex Turcotte?
Like the international tournaments for me too. Those are really important, and to like represent your country, and winning those is awesome. But also like competing in the USHL and actually trying to win a good amount of games and hopefully push for playoffs.
Cole, what about you?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with both of them. They said it perfect.
We're seeing, and you guys are part of that movement, in my opinion. But the NHL, like you look at players that are playing in juniors in college and in the NHL. It's a faster game. It's a more skilled game every year. One can make an argument that. Alex, you say your dad played pro. I mean, the game that he played is completely different than the game now. Have you noticed there specific differences in the last couple of years when you've been playing, midget or even Bantam? Like, can you tell it's getting, like, is it, what stands out to you the most, Cole? Is it a faster game? Is it a bigger game? What has changed, like, if we talk about, like, the evolution of hockey?
I think just everybody is faster and stronger, and then all the people are smart now and have good sticks, and it's just tougher to make plays. You just got to be smarter than them.
What about you, Alex? Anything specifically for you?
I feel like there's a lot more skill with everyone. Everyone's pretty skilled and can make plays. I know back in the day it wasn't so much like that. I mean, there were still skill guys, but it was a lot like more grindy, and there were a lot more bigger guys. Now I feel like there's a lot more smaller guys that can play and pretty much do it as good as anybody else.
And Jack, who was hiding for a
Yeah,
little bit, but he's back.
yeah, like Alex said, I think the game's like transitioned to a speed and skill game, not so much like size and physicality. So, I mean, it's easier for smaller guys to get to the league now, and I think it's all speed and skill.
Absolutely. Now this is the time in the show where I have a specific question tailored for all three of you. I will start with Cole. I mean, a lot of people talk about you as that guy that just that typical goal scorer. I mean, is that something that you want to be labeled as? Do you want to kind of, obviously, no one wants to be like, oh, all he can do is score. But I mean, what do you think when, like, whether you see this, like the scouting reports or not? I mean, people kind of label you as that goal scorer. Does that are you okay with that? Do you think that there's other elements of your game that people should know about?
I think it's great to get that recognition, and it's a great thing to have. But I think there's other elements to my game that I'm not just a goal scorer. I can make plays and find my teammates.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Alex, I mean, right around the corner for a lot of you is like in there's going to be opportunities, like you said, the international tournaments, but the NHL draft. There's like big events that you're going to have to prep for, and the problem is right now that's in like 2-3 years. But the thing is, people, especially with social media, people are going to be talking about it. It's going to be mentioned to you, but you have to now focus on right now. How do you maintain and contain that focus and excitement and not think about big events like the U-18s, the World Juniors, the NHL draft? Is there a method that you have to stay dialed on the current season at hand?
Personally, I just like take it every day. Just try to work hard in practice and in the gym, and not try to think about stuff like that, and just try to get better every day. And eventually those things will come. But I think just like not worrying about it and just giving it your all at the rink every day will do the job. So
Now, Jack, a lot of people are talking about you on social media. There's no surprise about that. He's smiling. He knows it. He's like, yeah, they are. I mean, simple question. I mean, like, how are you dealing with all the hype, man? I mean, I feel like it's hard too because people are talking about you, but you have not been at that stage yet where you've, I mean, you're under 17 years old. Like, you're not at that point yet. You know what I mean? But like, how are you been dealing with that hype? People are talking about, the NHL draft, but that's like in like, not this year, but next year. I mean, has it been hard to kind of not think about it? I mean, it's there. You know what I mean?
Not really for me. I mean, right now I'm kind of just focused on an everyday basis, trying to get better. I mean, that's so far down the road. I'm not really worried about, what people are saying and how they portray me. But, of course, it's nice for the compliments I do get, but I'm not too concerned about that. I know I can become like a way better player. So, I have a lot of things to work on, and that's what I'm focused on.
I mean, it's also like your brother, I mean, is kind of like thinking about that more and more because it's his draft year this year, right? Has he given you kind of some advice? Have you been able to talk to him about it at all?
A little bit. I think he's like settling into it now, but I mean, I'm still so far away from it. That's not my concern, really. Just letting him live it out right now.
Mm-hmm. Was there a player, Jack, that you modeled, like that you kind of looked up to when you were younger, like starting to play that like in the NHL, that not necessarily maybe you modeled their game after? Is there a specific player that you admired?
Well, of course, everyone admires like the Crosbys, Canes, McDavids, but for me personally, I mean, McDavid's a guy that I've been able to like see grow up, and because I lived in Toronto for 11 years. So
Yep, correct.
I kind of watched his development through the Toronto Marlboros, and then to the Erie Otters, and then now with Edmonton. So that's a guy I've kind of seen grow up and really do a great job under all the pressure he's been through. So on the ice and off the ice, he's been a really good role model, I think.
And quickly before I go to Alex and Cole, how did you like Toronto? What were your experiences like in Toronto?
It's unreal because hockey's everything up there. So I mean, that's a hockey hotbed, and it's a great spot. And I made some really good friends up there, so I consider it home.
Absolutely. Alex, any specific players that you kind of model your game after growing up?
I mean, it's kind of hard to like try and compare myself to any of these guys, but I like to like watch like Sidney Crosby and Kane and Tays and Kopitar. I like to think I'm a two-way guy, so I like to watch those guys a lot and pick some parts of their game and try and add them to mine. So
Cole, what about you?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Canes or Crosbys, but I think just got Johnny Gaudreau because the size element. He's really fun to watch, and he's a really good player.
Yeah. Now I have a little game I want to play that I'm wondering if we'll see if all three of you, if there will be the consensus teammate between the three of you. I'm gonna ask you all like your opinion on the USA National Development Program, the U-17, who has the best something, and we're gonna go around and you're gonna tell me who it is, and we'll see if we have the same answers. So, who has the best laugh on your team, Cole?
I would have to say Alex.
I would say
Panel.
Cole, too.
yeah, no, I would say Jack, but I'm around so much, so I don't know. I get a kick out of
They
it.
don't have to be on the panel. They could be it in general. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say Jack.
Okay, who is the most competitive off the ice? So I'm talking ping pong, I'm talking video games, I'm talking that type of stuff. Who's the most competitive, Cole?
God, this is a hard one. I think everybody's competitive.
Great answer.
I think Jack and Trevor Zegras, so they're always going at it.
Yeah. I would like to think of myself as the most competitive guy, but I mean, really, everybody wants to win at everything they do. So
Yeah, I mean, the same thing. Like, other than myself, I would probably say Jack or Trevor. Yeah, those two go at it.
And the last one, who's on their phone the most?
ooh.
Oh,
Ryan Seedham.
Yeah, I would say Cheatham.
yes. Please.
It must be nice where you kind of get to kind of grow up and get to know these players, and then down the road some of you might be college teammates. Like it must be a good start, right, Cole? Like the way the USA National Development Team program is start, because it is a unique program to many people looking from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, going into this, like, a couple of guys, you don't know most of the players. Most of them are from out east, so I didn't really get to know them well until we got together. So it's been pretty fun.
And Alex, do you also find that? I mean, it's really difficult because there's so many things to balance. There's school, there's hockey, there's training, there's so many things. Do you kind of find it kind of hard at times to balance everything, or do you think people on the team like yourself are kind of doing a good job of it? I mean, there's always, you guys are young guys. There's always going to be like room for improvement. You're learning every day, but it's hard to balance everything.
Yeah, I think at first it was hard to balance everything because, like, I mean, you're new to the rink, like you don't really know everybody on the team super well, and then you're new at school, like you're a brand new student, and you just like don't know like how to like balance and like use your energy in certain spots. But I think like, and I feel like they are the same right now. Like I can balance it pretty good, and I got my schedule out pretty good, and it's not too bad anymore. It's pretty easy actually.
Well, I think we'll wrap up soon, but before we do, first of all, I just want to thank all of you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I know you guys are busy and dialed in to the current season, so I think it's really awesome they took some time. We'll start with Jack and we'll go down. If you were giving a scouting report of yourself, of the type of game that you bring to the table, what would that kind of be? You have the chance now to to tell me what kind of player you truly think you are. So Jack, what kind of what kind of team get from you if they picked you?
I think I'm just a really competitive guy that always wants to win, and I'm a really good leader, I believe, and I can bring some skill to the team and produce points. So
Perfect.
I think I'm a good player for any team, really.
Alex, what about you?
I would describe myself as like a good two-way player that can win face-offs and be really reliable on the defensive end, but also make plays offensively and produce offense. And like Jack said, like always really competitive and always want to win and try to be the best leader I can be.
Great. And Cole, what about you? Goal scorer,
Yeah.
maybe? I don't know.
I would say like a hardworking, competitive guy that always wants to win. Looking for offense a lot. Just trying to make plays on the offensive side. I would say probably the goal scorer. I like to shoot. Just a great team guy that would do anything to win. Offensive guy.
Great. Well, Jack, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Yep, thank you.
Where could people follow you on social media? Is there
Me?
is there an Instagram or a Twitter that they could?
Instagram.
What's the handle? Like what do they have to?
Jack Hughes _.
Very good. What about you, Alex?
Insta _ Alex Turcotte.
All right, cool. Alex, thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. Cole, what about you? Instagram?
Yeah, it's just at Cole Caufield.
Perfect. Well, they left before I could say thanks, so I don't know. But this has been Pop Turnative. You can catch previous episodes of Pop Turnative on YouTube. This has been our USA Hockey National Team Development Program U-17 panel. Until next time, this is Peter Beats and Cole Caufield signing off. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Turnative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Turnative on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Turnative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.